Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, Law SA. For those of you who are new to the channel, please subscribe and check out my previous video, which was an introduction to this channel. As I promised you content, I'm gonna be dropping a new video every week, probably on weekends. Today I'll be covering a very interesting topic, which is how to become an attorney in South Africa. I would have given you this information myself, but since I'm also a student, I thought it would be better if you would get it from someone who's already an admitted attorney. I reached out to Mr. Mayizuke Nciya, who will be sharing this information with you. He completed his LLB degree at the University of Western Cape between the year 2013 and 2016. He thereafter completed his articles of clerkship at Norton Rose Fulbright. He's an admitted attorney of the High Court. Firstly, I would like to thank you for the opportunity to take the time out of your busy schedule so that you can have this meeting with me to cover the topic of how one can become an attorney in South Africa. Thank you very much. But before we dwell into the topic, I'd like you to first give us a personal and professional background of yourself, of who is Mayizuke Nciya.
Okay. Thank you for having me. Also, thank you for inviting me to your show for this discussion. My name is Mayizuke Nciya. I was born and grew up in Cape Town. I originate from the Eastern Cape. So I went to school, first Zeka High School, and then went to UWC to do my LLB between 2013 and 2016, and then in 2017 and 2018 I served my articles of clerkship at Norton Rose Fulbright. In 2019 I got admitted as an attorney, and then this year I'm serving as a law clerk to the Chief Justice of the Constitutional Court.
Oh wow, thank you. That's very interesting. I would just like to ask a very personal question. How does it feel like being a law clerk to the Chief Justice? Because that office is very distinct. It's the only office in the country. So,
well, it's so exciting and intimidating at the same time, because I know it is a privilege to get the opportunity to be serving as a law clerk at the Constitutional Court, and especially to the Chief Justice. So it's a responsibility that I take so seriously, that I want to do everything so well, so that I don't appear to be someone who's just invading space for another of someone else who, if they were to be given this opportunity, they would do much better. So I have to be on my toes every time, and work very hard and appreciate the opportunity. So it's very exciting and also very intimidating, but because there's that pressure to want to do well all the time. So yes.
Okay. From what you just said, I guess it's a good experience working with the Chief Justice.
It is. It's so much to learn from the whole exercise. The debates that you have, having to read all the time, it sharpens you as a lawyer. It makes you learn so much. It feels like getting a new degree.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll just like you to share with us the process of becoming an admitted attorney of the High Court, just from the stage whereby you enroll in varsity, and up to the different stages that are there, your articles of clerkship, as well as to the entire process. And I'm sure there are some requirements that you need to meet in order to be admitted. Can you also share that information with us?
Well, you need to get your LLB, specifically a Bachelor of Laws, the LLB, not BA Law or BCom Law. There has to be an LLB. So after you finish doing your LLB, you apply. You don't wait until you finish. You apply on the second year or penultimate year for articles all over. Apply everywhere. Once you get an offer, you will start when you finish doing your degree, and then you will register your articles. You'll be assigned to a principal. If you are employed by a firm, you'll be employed by a firm, obviously. So they will assign a director to you or a person that has been practicing for more than 3 years um, as your principal. You'll be assigned to that principal, and then you'll enter into a contract called practical vocational training contract, which is signed by you and your assigned principal. And then you submit that contract to the Law Society. The contract is normally available on the website, or you can collect it from the office. Some firms will have those contracts ready for you to sign. Some firms you'll have to go and facilitate the entire process by yourself. So you register that contract to get assigned to that principal. Now, for small firms, you normally don't do rotation. You do everything that needs to be done by a candidate attorney. And as you're assigned to this principal has an obligation to train you as a lawyer. So you'll be helping him to do almost everything that is done, all the matters. Some people are lucky because they get trained so well that they end up handling their own matters from beginning to end. You do court appearances, you do letters of demands, you just do everything. So you do this for a period of 2 years. On your first year, you'll request your right of appearance certificate as well as the right of appearance certificate, which will give the first year. Second year, you can appear in your regional magistrate's court and you appear on behalf of your principal because you are not on your own. You don't have the right to practice until you get admitted. So you have your LLB. You need to be, there'll need to be reference letters about your character references from, I got mine from my lecturer and also a family friend that is a professor that knows me. So you serve during this period of articles and you need to write 4 exams. Paper 1 will be your courts practice. Paper 2 will be your wills and estates. Paper 3 will be your ethics, which was very difficult. And paper 4 will be your accounting. I had to write accounting several times because I'm not great with numbers. So you have to do all these exams and pass them. But they help you because you will need to attend classes, lit classes, before you write these exams. Some people go to 6 months and learn, and some people do the short courses, do it in a shorter period of time. So they prepare you for exams, and then you get access to previous question papers. You practice, it helps you pass. You pass all these exams, and then when you finish your articles, your principal will have to write a supporting affidavit for you. You will also need to draft an affidavit and a notice of motion to apply to bring that expert the application to be admitted as an attorney of the High Court. So you behave very well during this period. You don't want to have a criminal record. You don't want to have anything that might stand on your way when you are getting admitted, because you'll have to be a fit and proper person. And part of being a fit and proper person is that you need to have a clean name. You need to behave very well so that no one can admission. I don't know examples of people who couldn't get admitted. I know there was a guy that apparently stole something from a shop, and when he was about to get admitted, that came up. Also, the prince, you have read it came out, or that was the judgment that was handed down 2 years ago. I suspect he needed to be, if I remember correctly, he needed to be registered or admitted, but he couldn't because he was smoking weed or something. I don't remember well, but those are
Yeah,
a
the
few
Prince,
examples
the
of
Prince case.
people that are not perceived as fit, yes, a Prince case. But yes, that's really very difficult. And it's an opportunity you must grab and learn as much as possible. There are issues with transformation, and some people unfortunately do not get proper training from their principals because of lack of transformation issues. Those companies that employ people of color just because they need to meet BE requirements, and if you are there, you can feel that you were not given this opportunity. This opportunity is not given to you. Um, you are just being used to be a number of as a person of color in the company. But some people are very lucky. The principals do everything they need to do to make sure that by the time you finish your articles, you are able to stand on your own if you had to and run your own practice. But you make yourself available to learn even to other people that are in the company, starting from secretaries. Um, do everything that needs to be done.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much with that information. You mentioned the fact that you are expected to write 4 board exams. Do you write those at the same time, or you are able to choose to write them at different times?
You have a choice to write all 4 of them at the same time. Some people have done that successfully. You also have a choice because you are there for 4 years. You'll start to be able to, if you start in January, you'll start to be able to write in August of that year. You can choose to write 2, you can choose to write 1, you can choose to write everything, you can choose to write 3 because you'll have chances throughout. Because I struggled with my bookkeeping, so I only finished those exams um, in March of the year after I finished my articles last year.
Okay.
And the last time I checked, I think you had 3 years to finish everything and get admitted. 3 years after you finished your articles.
Finish the articles.
And I think if you take longer than that, you need to also apply for condonation and all that stuff.
Okay. Okay. No, thank you. On your professional profile, I noticed that you had the opportunity to undertake work at Smith Tabata. How would you say that is it that very is the experience of work important, and how did it help you?
I did during my time. I did work at ENS, and then I did work at STBB as well because I had started with STBB, and part of the conditions are that you need to serve work, and that if they offer you articles, you shouldn't refuse. Work is very important when you're still a student because I think the reasons why I have achieved, part of the reasons why I have been very privileged to have the opportunities that I've had is because of my work experience.
Yeah.
I think it shows that you are eager, you are desperate to know. So I encourage students to want to do work. Not much. You don't. To be quite honest, when you're doing articles, it opens your mind so much that you realize there's a lot that you didn't know well. And normally works are a week or 2, so it's not enough time to learn a lot. Um, in some works you'll have to do a moot court competition, which also teaches you a lot because you have to draft pleadings and then you have to appear to the people that will be assigned that will be pretending to be judges. So you do learn something, but it's a very limited time. It just makes you look good on your CV.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's very interesting. Also, while you're still at varsity, within the varsity space, there's a lot that goes on besides academics, student politics, sports, societies. Do you think, due to the demanding nature of the LLB program, do you think it's wise for those students to also involve themselves in those extracurricular activities, and to what extent, perhaps, so that it doesn't taint or affect the quality of their schoolwork?
People are always encouraged to not only focus on books, to have other things to show that they are well-rounded people. I will be honest, I understand myself, and I'm not very good at multitasking. So I didn't want to fail or to have distractions while I was still studying, because I wanted to finish on time and I wanted my academic record to look good. And I didn't believe that I am the type of person that can go play soccer, be in politics, be in debates, and be able to do well in school as well. So I think it requires a person to understand themselves better and know what works for them. I did very well during my studies because I tried to not have distractions. I know of a friend that was doing everything. She was in moot court, she was debating, she was um, doing just everything, going to church, very busy, but managed to do well in school as well. I wish I was like that, but I'm not. But I encourage people to do what they can do as an extracurricular activity, but don't try too hard if it doesn't work for you.
Okay. No, that's very wise. That's very wise. Some law students, I noticed that they are separated. I was once like that also in my first year. I would just attend classes, go back to my room, study, do assignments and all of that without any interaction. So I think that kind of affects you in a way, because you don't get the time to engage or interact with other people who might assist you. For instance, people like mentors and all of that. So with regards to mentorship, would you advise students to have mentors? And are you currently mentoring any students?
I do advise people to go for mentoring. If they meant that can be assigned to you, go for it. I didn't have one from university because I have a mentor. The professor family friend has been mentoring me throughout. I remember when I was struggling, because I struggled in the first term of my first year. I was so frustrated. I didn't know how to handle everything. I was just failing. And I spoke to this mentor whom is a psychologist. And it helped so much for me to have someone that I consulted every 2 weeks throughout my studies. And even when I was doing my articles, my mentor was there. People should go for mentorship. I will be honest, I don't have someone that I'm mentoring at the moment. I don't have, but I always make myself available for people who need advice or mentorship or anything related to that, except for people that want free legal advice. I don't have much time for them, but I will definitely make time. I always make time for a law student or for someone in high school. I remember there's a kid yesterday that a distant friend asked if he could give my numbers to him because he needed some advice and he wants to know more about law. He has applied for law. He's doing his grade 12. He's very excited. So I said to the friend, she must give my number to this young boy. And he contacted me yesterday. We are going to have a chat today. So I don't have a formalistic way of mentoring, but I make myself available for people that need mentorship.
Okay.
I have though, I have had a mentor, and I didn't do justice to that because I was not in a good. I mean, I was a mentor to someone, but I didn't do justice to that because I was not in a good space in my life at that time. So the relationship, we drifted apart.
Yeah. No, that's quite understandable. At least you're available when they reach out to you.
Yes.
You did mention, you mentioned your path, the path that you took while doing your articles. You went through straight to a law firm. You didn't go full time to law school. So do you think going to law school has some added advantage before you progress to your articles? Because maybe some students... might not be fortunate enough to get an opportunity to start their articles immediately after school. So
there's a lot that you can do besides articles, and especially while you are still looking for articles, you can still apply for those what is it called, internships.
okay.
Transnet has them. Many other companies have graduate programs. You can spend some time, maybe a year or two, doing that while you're still trying to secure your articles. I'm not sure which way is best to go. Some people have done this law school for 6 months, and they did very well because they had enough time to learn everything that they were being taught, so they didn't struggle with their exams. But also, you can still do well if you go straight to articles and do your classes and exams simultaneously.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. I've noticed some candidate attorneys also do a master's degree concurrently with their articles. Due to the demanding nature of the profession, do you think that's a wise decision, or someone has to look at themselves if they'll be able to manage the pressure of balancing their work as well as their LLM degree?
Some people do well with that, but I know a few people that I finished with, and they registered to do the LLM, and were doing articles at the same time. And most of them are still doing the LLM. So I don't know. I don't know. Some people can cope doing articles and LLM at the same time. I wouldn't advise that. Also, depending on how demanding your company is, I wouldn't have done well. But I do wish that I had registered for an LLM this year because COVID-19 has given us so much time. So if I was writing a thesis, I would have enough time to research. But I'm glad I waited because I'm still learning a lot and we make a better decision in terms of what I want my LLM to focus on.
Okay.
So just try and do your articles and finish them, and then you LLM. There's a lot of stress that comes with articles.
Yeah. Okay. Does it help though, having an LLM degree? Does it give you any advantage in practice as an attorney?
I don't know because I don't have an LLM.
Okay.
But with the LLM, I think it helps a lot for people that want to do a research type of job, like this job that I'm doing now. Okay. If you're going to be a researcher, I think it helps you sharpens your writing skills, research skills, and all that.
Yeah.
I have asked also that question if an LLM puts you at an advantage, and the answers that I got from different companies, they said not particularly. It doesn't particularly give you an advantage because you might do an LLM in corporate and commercial law and then be employed to do articles in some company that focuses on human rights, and then your LLM is not that relevant to the work that you're doing. It's worth the wait to see which fields of law fascinate you the most, and you build a career towards that, and might add an LLM later. And I also think it gives you a better perspective when you are learning more about something that you have done in practice than something that you haven't. Yeah. I'd advise people to wait and see what fascinates them.
Okay. No, I think that's fair. But I just want to ask a question in relation to being a fit and proper person. Does it mean you must have a clean record in your personal life? And perhaps, do you know to what extent do potential employers, or in fact being admitted, to what extent do they go in looking whether you are a fit and proper person?
I think the Law Society called the Legal Practice Council now. I think they are the one who do the due diligence to make sure that you are a fit and proper person. If not, they'll object to admission. And they are the ones who often object to admission if there is something wrong on your name.
Okay. Okay. No, that's fair enough. I would like you also to touch perhaps on the issue of what other jobs can you do as an attorney? Because I know some attorneys are in-house attorneys, work for companies. Some may be legal compliance officers, or just besides general practice. What else can you do with an LLB degree if you are
There's a lot. There's a lot that you can do. Some people don't want to stay in practice for too long. So they get that 3 years to 5 years post-admission experience and then go and work for companies of their interest. Some people may be interested in mining, so they go and work for mining companies. Some people will be interested in banking and finance, so they'll go to banks. And some people will be interested in compliance. Some will be interested in human rights. You can go and work for the Human Rights Commission, CGE, Gender Commission, Gender Equality Commission. I forgot the proper name, but there's so many other things that you can do besides practice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. No, that's the questions I preferred for this interview, and I think they give the general view of how you can become an attorney and what can you do with an LLB degree. And also thank you for sharing your personal experience of your process when you were a candidate attorney. Do you perhaps have any general remarks or advice that you can give to law students or potential law students out there who don't have the opportunity to get your number and communicate with you?
Just study, work hard. As you've been mentioning several times during this interview, there's a lot of people that are studying law. There's an influx of people that are trying to enter the profession. The competition is very tight. And there must be something that sets you apart, that makes you shine than other people. And I think the best way of shining is to just excel in school. If you have great marks, if you have very good marks, you will grab the attention of the recruiter. You'll grab the attention of each and every opportunity that is there. Good marks make you look good. You can write well and additional things, but get good marks. If you have the opportunity to get on the Dean's merit list, push and get there. Try to be exceptional academically. But also, I'm not discouraging those people that are not getting good marks, because recruiters and many other opportunities won't just look at marks. They will look at everything, but marks are a starting point. They grab their attention. They are fascinating. They are pleasant to look at when they are high.
Okay.
So that's the advice I would give. Just work hard.
Okay, no, thank you for that piece of advice. I guess we should just end it there for now. Once again, I'd like to thank you for taking your time to have this interview with me. I'm sure it will be really useful to a number of law students out there, as well as people who are seeking articles and potential law students. Thank you.
Thank you so much for inviting me as well, and for the interview. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for watching. If you like the content, please click the like button, drop a comment, as well as share the video with anyone who might be interested. Thank you. See you next time.